Women are punishing men for having eyes. So, yes, basically, they are talking about the return of the male gaze as there are not lots of television shows, movies, video games that are now trying to attract men, and women are furious about this. Why are women so furious about shows, movies, games, and other forms of media, including commercials? Don't forget about the cat's eye commercial from The Gap. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Yeah, they're upset about this, and now they are punishing men for simply having eyes. Why are women punishing men for simply having eyes, and what does that mean for society going forward? Watch to the end of the video to have these questions answered. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. Our Rumble will be linked in the description of the video. Also, don't let them tell you that you will own nothing and be happy. Go and check out Angry's Crypto Academy that will teach you how to buy, sell, and trade crypto while making massive profit. It's also linked in the description of the video. Go ahead and hit the like button, turn on notifications, and hit the subscribe button to help push us out into the YouTube algorithm. Today's video comes from Clownfish TV. Their channel will also be linked in the description of the video. Shout out to Clownfish TV. They are grinding hard, just pumping out content. I'm telling you, these Gen Xers are not effing around. They're not effing around. Shout out to Clownfish TV for being on their grind. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Kiki Sparkles.
Hello.
And somehow the male gaze returned. Somehow.
Yeah, or never left.
So we're going to talk about this ridiculous article on CNN.
Of course it's CNN.
They're saying after years of progress on gender, the male gaze is back. Oh my God, guys.
Left. But you know what I said when I saw this? It's like, so basically what I'm hearing is it's okay for women to ogle other women because, then it's justified. It's okay for women to ogle men and, for there to be, cheesecake and stuff in shows. But it's not okay for men to look at women.
Yeah, basically, that's how it works. It's okay for straight men to cuddle, too. That's the thing that they tried to push.
Yes.
And, women can apparently, milk minotaurs, too, in books, and that's okay. That's encouraged. But, yeah, the other way around, it's misogyny. And I'm like, hey, there are billions and billions of people on this planet. There is a lot of male gazing going on to get to that point. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous because if you look at somebody as a second glance, maybe even because they're wearing something weird, like why are you looking at that woman? It's funny to me. It always struck me as hilarious because it was like women were allowed to ogle whoever, but men better not look at women. And it was. And I mean, honestly, until recently, some of these women went so batshit that if you were looking at them, it's because you were like, what the heck is that? I'm trying to figure it out. Or a lot of women are just like turning away from the far, far extremes and going back to being normal. And then men are like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that because the whole trad wife thing is pissing them off too.
Oh, I think that's hilarious. Piss them off, piss away.
This is on Teen Vogue, how trad wives use sexism, racism, and transphobia to police other women.
Oh, hell no. I have comments on that. Also,
sure
Teen Vogue, the place that wanted to teach teenagers how to have butt sex.
Yes.
But I have comments on this because I call bullshit, and I will tell you why when we get to that point.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. So this is like a different generation. This is a different generation of people. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. So Neon and Geeky Sparkles, they are either older Gen Xers or either older. They're a little older Gen Xers, but they're either in their late 40s or early 50s. And yeah, these people didn't play. This is a very different generation. It's a very, very different generation. Like, this is the type of unfiltered stuff that you would expect. It's a whole like Gen Z has no real swag. Gen Z, they are kind of mentally stunted in a way where they don't want you to speak openly and honestly. Everything is offensive. And then you have Gen X, who basically will tell you how it is. They'll tell you exactly how it is. And it's a very intriguing thing, man. Very intriguing thing. I just wanted to point it out.
Bullshit on that. Bullshit.
All right. Let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com. Get notified of new content when we post new videos. We'll post a link. You'll get an email about it. This is how you stay on top of all the videos we produce, because we do post multiple per day, because YouTube does not notify you as much as they used to.
Just visit the site every day, because
just go to the site every day. There you go, guys. Just go to the site. Yeah, so this is coming from CNN. It's making the rounds. It's a dumb article, but we're going to take a look at it. After years of progress on gender, the male gaze is back, guys. This summer,
I never left, to be fair.
You just weren't allowed to talk about it, right?
No.
You weren't allowed to talk about heteronormative relationships, even though there are billions of people on the planet. Was it like 7 billion, 8 billion people on the planet? Yeah, there's a reason we have so many people on the planet. It's because men gazed at women, and then it went beyond the gaze. But not the gaze, G-A.
They know what you mean.
G-A-Z-E, yes. This summer, I got cultural whiplash. As a child of the 90s and early 2000s, I grew up with my mother's and grandmother's generations fight for legal and workplace equality, helping shed social misogyny. What?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right away, from the first sentence, you're full of shit.
Okay, here we go. This is what's going on. In the past decade in particular, I saw the evidence of progress in my media diet. The movies, shows, books, and advertisements I consumed were increasingly giving women a seat at the table. Heroin chic fell away and body positivity entered the fashion world. Stories about a woman stealing your man were traded for celebration of the girl's girl who resisted the competition for men's attention. Also, one who gets paid to jerk off minotaurs, but I digress.
I'm just like, okay, I'm sorry, but I don't know what this person looks like. But when I read this, I'm like, okay, I'm the ugly chick. I don't know. But it's just like, look, my mom, I never thought I couldn't be whatever I want to be, because my mom, always said you could do.
Bro, I'm telling you, like Geeky Sparkles reminds me so much of the 80s. Like, she reminds me so much of the 80s. Literally unfiltered. Just so unfiltered. This is something that one of the reasons why podcasts are taking off. People are desperate. Absolutely desperate for people who just keep it real, people who are just unfiltered and saying what they think. There's a reason why you have guys like Nick Fuentes. I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but there's a reason why he has such a large fan base. There's a reason why the Tates have such a large fan base. All right, it's because people are desperate for anything that's real. I have so many people who don't like me, absolutely despise me, HATE me, and they watch every video, and they're criticizing me, it's like, bro, if you really don't like me so much, why are you watching my videos? Why are you here? My regulars don't watch my videos the way that you do. Something is wrong, little bro. You have to be honest with yourself. There's a reason why you keep coming back. There's a reason why you're not watching videos from people like Anita Sarkeesian every single day, okay? Why you're not subscribed to the Amy Schumer podcast. And I just tossed that out there. I don't know if she actually has an actual podcast. I'm just saying, or watching more Lacey Green classics. It's because you're desperate for something real. Because I'm keeping it real. Something interesting, I actually thought about getting into scripting my videos. I was like, oh gosh, maybe if I started scripting the videos, like Manosphere highlights, and maybe that would be good. But then I looked at Clownfish TV and I was like, yeah, they don't script their videos. They keep it real and raw as hell. And what I really want, like, there's a certain expectation. That's just, it's off the cuff. Like, there's so many jokes that I come up with. There's so much stuff that I just say that flows out naturally. I am a comedian. I'm 100% a comedian. And my thing is improv comedy. I like just making things up off the cuff. I like just flowing. And the thing is, It's my style. Shit talking is my style. I just love to talk some shit. I love it, and I'm good at it. And it's funny because if you don't like me, cool. It's the people who are criticizing me, telling me that I need to do that, I should script my content so that I become just like all the others. They wouldn't be watching it. If I started scripting my content, a lot of you guys wouldn't watch it anymore. You wouldn't watch it anymore. You'd say this is boring now. Am I saying I'll never do a scripted video? I've done it before. Done it before like once or twice. I can't say how well it performed. It didn't do it. It doesn't seem like it did any better than any of my normal videos. People are desperate. People are desperate for keeping it real. And you know, when I watch Clownfish TV and I listen to like the back and forth between Geeky Sparkles and Neon, or sometimes Geeky, like like for example, Neon was out with his daughter, with their daughter, like a few days ago. It was like a day, maybe it was yesterday, and Neon basically took the kid to the movies. And what was Geeky Sparkles doing? Geeky Sparkles was like, just like she was like, well, Neon's out with the daughter, so yeah, I'm just gonna be grinding out videos for the next couple of hours. I'm just gonna be, and that's literally what she did. She just kept on grinding out videos. Like it's ridiculous. They're a couple, by the way. They're a couple that have children, and she just kept grinding out videos. And I've like pointed it out to Neon before in the comments, like, bro, you just keep dropping videos. And he was like, man, we just dropped some. Yeah, you think that's like something? We're doing the live stream earlier, and like, I'm like, dude, what the heck is going on with you guys? That's another thing about Gen X. Like, guys, many of you remember I used to drop like 5 videos, 10 videos a day sometimes. Before I got sick earlier this year, I got really, really sick earlier this year. I'm actually not doing the greatest right now, which is one of the reasons why the content has kind of slowed a little bit. I never completely recovered. And now I've got other issues, and it's like I just can't be bothered with this crap. But a lot of Gen Xers, they just have that work ethic where they just grind. These people have children, they're raising children. How the hell are you raising children? Dropping like 5 videos a day, like producing like 3 videos, like both of you, like sometimes, like, okay, and live streaming for like a couple of hours. Like, what is wrong? And like, I don't know. And I don't know if Neon has a day job. He might. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and that's kind of just how Gen X is. Gen X just keeps it moving. Gen X is such a hardcore generation when it comes to the grind. Gen X likes to say that they're the generation that they were slackers, but if you look at how they perform in the real world, they're so hardcore, bro. They are so hardcore as a whole. It's insane, bro.
Whatever you want to do as long as you want to do it. And when the one guidance counselor at school told all the girls, this is back before the 90s and 2000s when I was a kid, that they were telling all the girls had to be secretaries. And my mom was like, oh, hell no, you're not telling these girls that, even ones that weren't her daughter. My mom was in charge of an airport, and it was practically unheard of back then for a woman to be doing this stuff. So I grew up at a time we were told to be everything we could wanted to be. But my mom was also a mom. First and foremost, she was a wife and mom because she wanted to be.
In a world pushing you to own nothing and be happy, crypto is your key to survival. Join Angry's Crypto Academy to master. Do you hear that? It's your key to survival. It's a key to survival, y'all. All right? Like, y'all gonna be out there in the streets when the economy collapses. It's your key. It's your key to survival. Playing games with your life. Buying, selling, and trading crypto. Make huge profits and safeguard your wealth. Plus, let me tell you something. You're not going to be able to access those bank accounts. All right. It's going to go to the ATM. It's going to say, like no access, like cannot access, inaccessible. Bank doors are going to be chained up. You're going to be banging on the bank doors. There's no one in there. There's no one in the bank, and there's no money in the banks. There's no money in the banks. This is all, guys. This is not a depression. It's a collapse. Discover the one crypto virtually no one is talking about. There's a bunch of them actually, but there's a specific one that you should all have in your portfolio. Specific one. Poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. The link is in the description of the video below. Go check it out now.
Idea that women, we're winning in the culture war because women are getting a seat at the table. Women always had a seat at the table, and women should have a seat at the table. I'm not saying they shouldn't, But like, and but there's a lot of women who fought hard to get that. But that doesn't mean that automatically.
Well, here's the thing: the seat at the table is one that is earned. So, for example, if I go and I start a company with the homies, uh, why are we going to give someone at a seat at the table who did not earn it? Why are we going to give someone a seat at the table just because of external characteristics? Like that's the definition of discrimination, where you're basically giving people stuff, positions, positions of power and influence just because of external characteristics. When you start hiring people just based on merit, then it's just when you start hiring people that's not based on merit and is based on external things, then it's absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. So no, you have to earn a position at the table. You don't deserve a position at the table just because you exist. Okay? The average man doesn't get a position at the table. It doesn't work like that. The average man is basically working at the very bottom end of the company. And a lot of women believe that they deserve a position at the table because they should get one because of gender. And it's like, bro, that's not fair. That's literally not fair. You want special treatment. You basically want special treatment and special recognition where you would get a greater opportunity than I would for that position just because of your GNDR. And that's not fair. That's not right. It should be based on merit. It should be based on if you're qualified. It should not our external characteristics, the COLOR of our SKIN or our GNDR should not be taken into consideration when it comes to whether or not we get a seat at any table. It's based on our merit and if people like us for who we are. I'm going to tell you guys something. This happened years ago. This is over 10 years ago. This is a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago. It's a crazy story. But you guys might like the story. So, I had a friend who worked as a programmer, right? He was just like senior programmer, like he was up there in the company. And it was all the bros. It was just the homies. And they needed to hire someone. They needed to hire someone new. And they interviewed a bunch of people. And there were two people that they considered hiring. One person almost got the job. Was a white guy who had a Ivy League education. But my friend, he was concerned if this guy actually knew how to program, so he gave him a test, and it turned out the guy couldn't actually code. He had like a degree. He had like a degree from like Stanford University in computer science, but he actually didn't know how to code because that happens all the time. There was another guy also they really liked the guy. All right, really liked the guy. It was a black guy with dreads. Black guy with dreads. This is how life. It's usually the person who people like the most, or provide, or are based on solely merit that gets the job. But instead of hiring the black guy, and here's the thing about the black guy knew his worth. When he came in, he was asking questions like, what's the vibe around here? And he asked for more money. He asked for more money than they were offering. And they basically went and started asking if they could if they basically could give it to him. And they wanted to hire the black guy, not even because he was necessarily the greatest programmer in the world. It's obvious he had clearly had some experience, but they really liked him. He was so chill, and they liked his vibe so much that they wanted to hire him. Who did they end up hiring, though? They ended up hiring a woman because they were like, "Nah, we'll hire a woman. We'll give the job to a woman because there are no women here." So it was a DEI hire, and I remember my friend one day telling me how surprised he was to discover that she could actually do a bit of coding. So she never really did much coding. It was 100% a DEI hire, and he was surprised that she could do basic coding. Basic coding, bro? No, 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 no. And let's just say, in the end, it created a lot of problems in the office, a lot of heartbreak, and she quit and decided that she wanted to go travel the world. I don't know if she went and like joined the Peace Corps. So it was some crap like she decided to leave the job after working there for a few years, go join the Peace Corps, and that was that. And this is what happens when you mess around with DEI. So they were paying her to do essentially nothing, just to exist, because they simply wanted a girl in the office. That was it. That was it. When they should have hired the black guy with the dreads. That's why I say it should be based on merit. It should be or based on if you like the person. It should not be based solely on gender or external characteristics like, oh, you check off a box. Oh, a person is of this ethnicity. Oh, we'll hire them based on this. Or a person of this is of this gender ideology. We'll hire them on this. No, it should be based on your merit, or should be, or at least based on if you like the person. A lot of people get jobs that they're not necessarily qualified for, but simply because you like them. People who are getting these jobs are not even likable people. They're not even getting these jobs because people like them. They're getting these jobs just because they check off certain boxes, which is a joke. And now, guys, look at society. We have a society where men are being punished for simply having eyes, and then you wonder why men have completely or have disappeared mostly from society.
Women should get all the seats at the table. That does not mean that automatically that men can't look at women anymore, but women can look at whoever. It doesn't mean any of that shit. And the fashion or body positivity, look, I never thought it was okay to shame anyone, fat or otherwise. It's never okay to shame anybody about their body, but it has gotten ridiculous, okay? Calvin Klein ads with people that are way overweight were not what people signed up for. I agree with, respecting other people, even if they're heavier and all. I agree with that. But, and I never agreed with the whole, skinny waif look either. But this was ridiculous. It sounds to me like sour grapes. I'm mad because culture's changed again, and they're not going to embrace me, is what it sounds like.
Okay, that's exactly what's going on here. The pendulum is swinging back, and swinging back very hard. And we did have 10 to 15 years where basically anything even approaching like heteronormative, male, female traditional relationships was excised from media. It was always like,
think about this very carefully. I said this actually. I said that, we had like 50 to 60 years of feminism, 50, 60 years of men being told to go away, 50, 60 years of being conditioned to leave women alone, 50 to 60 years of this. And now, and I said that, just like in social sciences, just like in science as well as social science, general science as well as social sciences, you have the notion that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The pendulum swung far left, right? And it didn't happen overnight. All right. It was around 50 to 60 years minimum of this. Really, it was more than that. But when it really got really radical was back in the 60s and 70s. 50 to 60 years of this extreme radical behavior. And now here we are in society today. And it didn't just happen overnight. And even now, women are still going scorched earth when it comes to men and dating and relationships and demonizing men for just existing. And I said that this pendulum is going to swing right. It swung far, far left, and now it's going to swing far right. And what do we know about motion? We know that with motion, it's going to pick up speed. As it picks up speed, as the object picks up, the pendulum picks up speed, the force is going to increase. And it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what they have, what barriers they have up, it will break through those barriers. They can try as hard as they like to prevent it, but the pendulum is going to keep on swinging. It's going to keep on going right. It's going to go far right before it possibly settles somewhere in the middle, and that won't happen in our lifetime. Because so much of this started before we were even on the planet. That you think it's going to be resolved before we leave it? I used to have a friend named Cassie. She used to make content. She used to be in the manosphere. She was one of the OGs. And she said it herself. She said that, yeah, she admitted to me, like, yeah, the relationship between men and women will not be healed in our lifetime. And she was like in her 20s back then. It's like 10 years ago. She was like in her 20s back then, and she had come to the conclusion, the hard conclusion, that the relationship between men and women was not going to be healed in our lifetimes. This girl was like 20 in her early 20s, I think. Early, maybe mid 20s. And bro, for her to have that attitude should tell you everything you need to know. Like, she had already given up. She had already given up on the idea. And this was before Me Too. She came to this conclusion because I know this girl going back years. I think it was a couple years before Me Too. She came to the conclusion that, yeah, it was over. It was like it was done. And we're seeing that now. And women themselves they can't admit it. I told you that women were going to say, feminism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight it together. Feminism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight for one another. What women don't comprehend is that, let's see if I can. Feminism is just Marxism wrapped in a bow. Socialism is just communism wrapped in a bow. Communism is just Marxism wrapped in a bow. Marxism is just totalitarianism wrapped in a bow. Feminism is just Marxism wrapped in a bow. What women are really saying, and they don't comprehend it, is that they're saying, Marxism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight it together. Marxism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight for one another. In other words, they realize that now that they've pushed everything so far that they're now beginning to lose things. Because it was never about helping women. It was about using women to push a specific ideology to bring about push a specific ideology for a specific agenda to bring about a specific outcome. Women were basically tools. They were used. They were used to achieve a specific purpose. They were never partners. And now they realize all of the ill-gotten gains can now go away. And now they want men to fight alongside them, even as they're still bashing us, so that they can keep said ill-gotten gains. I mean, how insane is that?
You know, the majority of people in the world, if you're going to be fair and honest, by numbers, are heteronormative.
Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend every day on a web browser? How much?
Yeah, you're not getting. We don't want to hear about Comet. We don't want to hear about Comet. We're gonna jump through Comet. Okay, it could be an interesting thing. Maybe it's something we can check out. Maybe I'll go and check it out. But I really don't need to hear about Comet. Let's go ahead and just jump right through this. Wow, that's a big one. That was a big one. But we were good. We got through it. All right. Comment. Yeah, I'm not even gonna plug the site. All right. They're not sponsoring me.
.ai/clownfish. Go now and take back your time online. Let's get back into the video. You know what's so weird about it is it got to a point where it was so ridiculous. It was like, oh my God, look, a typical male and female romance story. It became abnormal to see that in Western media. Now, I think part of the reason that a lot of people went to like your K-dramas and the anime.
Yep. They're so much better than what we're getting over here. And a lot of times they have different people. Like in the one I'm watching, her kind of sister is like I
might just start watching these K dramas because, like, I mean, people like K-pop is so lit, right now. K-pop, I mean, even like think about like the whole K-pop movie. Even like there's many of you guys don't know about this, but there's like an entire segment of basically they have their own version of manga in Korea, and it's so good. It's so good. Like some of them are actually getting their own animes. Like Solo Leveling is based on a Korean comic. It's essentially manga, okay, but it's their own version of manga, and it's insane. It's absolutely insane. So when you take all of this into consideration, like it just kind of makes sense. Like one of the biggest movies in the world right now is that like Demon Hunter K-pop movie, right? So yeah. Guys, women are pushing for men. Women are punishing men for having eyes. Oh gosh, what does it mean for society? It means more men just walking away and disappearing, and more women just, shaming and using sign language, shame, insults, guilt, gaslighting because they need to be right. As men move away from, leave society behind, and they don't know what to do, and their only options will ultimately be the state, the simps in the streets to subsidize their living, and it's gonna be a wild ride for them. But let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. If you want to watch the full video from Clownfish TV, again, it's linked in the description of the video. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men Walking Away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.